I'm pretty sure that Willy's gonna wing it. So anyways, let me just call up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me just call her up in front to deliver a speech. Duwan, I'm scared. Duwan, I'm scared.
When I was a little girl, my daddy wanted me to grow up independent and inspiring. Daddy would always say, "Dad, you have to be brave and courageous in facing the storms that will dawn upon you in life. Face your challenges, face front without fears, because you cannot avoid the inevitable." But of course, when it came to fears, I was only human. Growing up, I had 3 kinds of fears. 3 F's that crumbles me. So once I was 7 years old, I was in a mall, and Daddy said to me, "Ada, you're a big girl already. You need to know how to get on the escalator yourself." "But Daddy, I don't want." "Why?" I'm scared." You see, as a child, a lot of consequences to your actions are not known to you. But one thing for sure, you know that the greatest pain of all times is when you fall down. And look at the escalator, it's so intimidating, it's moving so quickly, and you know as a child you are small, you are slow, and you are clumsy. So what if I trip and fall and die? But of course, eventually, I grew up, and I learned how to get on the escalator. And I never really fell from the escalator anyway. So when I was 16, I grew up. When I grew up, I knew better. When we were 16, the greatest fear we had was to lose our face. So in high school, my friend came up to me and she said, Winnie, join us in the school's volleyball team. We'll have so much fun." And then I thought to myself, the volleyball team was pretty idle and dormant back then. They didn't really have a track record to speak about or to comment about. But then the closest thought I had at that time was the school's basketball team. They're pretty similar, right? Volleyball and basketball. So I thought to myself, the basketball team, on the other hand, were always known and shamed for their shortcomings. And it rattled my confidence instantly. And I turned to my friend and I said, Duwan, I'm scared." And then, hey, we're a new team. What's the likes of us winning anyway? And imagine if I lost. I would be shamed, wouldn't I? So, eventually, at that point, I was quick to say no without hesitation, because the known fear of embarrassment got the better of me. So, in the end, they came up 3rd in district, an achievement never before had by the school. And I wasn't a part of it. When I was 19, I met my 3rd F, fear of loss. Loss here does not mean loss of a competition or loss of a game. It is the loss of opportunities and chances. When asked to model for a photographer's Estee Lauder breast cancer awareness campaign, I had the fear of the known and the unknown. I know that I didn't know what to expect. The fear of the unknown and the known. I didn't know what to expect because I've never done it before. But I know if I turn it down, I would lose out like the previous time, wouldn't I? So I hesitated, I contemplated, and eventually I did nothing. And he, being a photographer with a project deadline, he found someone else. Eventually, I lost the opportunity too. Ladies and gentlemen, Fear is the acronym for forget everything and run. It was how I managed all my 3 fears, by letting them cripple and crumble me. You see, fear is an overpowering emotion that takes over your body and influences your mind, your decision making, and what the potential that you can achieve. So, when it comes to fears, you either face them or you run away from them. But the acronym I just gave you suggested that you forget everything and run, because that's the definition of fear. That's what fear makes you do. So it was how I managed all my 3 fears all my life, until the words of Will Smith hit me one day when he said, fear is not real. It is the product of the thoughts that you create. And that you create. Do not misunderstand me because do not misunderstand me because danger is real, but fear is a choice. So, and then I thought to myself, if fear was a choice, it means that I can choose the way I can control my fears by choosing the way I think. Mind over body, you have the power to decide the way you think. And when you can control your thoughts, then you can control your fears instead of letting them control you instead. So ladies and gentlemen, whilst I've defined to you fear as forgetting everything and run, I hope that the next time when you're met with your fears, instead of saying the likes of, Duwan, I'm scared, let me offer you a solution to your fear, which also comes in the acronym of FEAR, fear, but it is to face everything and rise. So whether or not you would forget everything and run or to face everything and rise, the choice is yours, ladies and gentlemen. I urge you to face your fears and to overcome them in time to come. Back to you.
I didn't even know fear is also an acronym. And it seems that it makes sense. Thanks for letting us know that.